Hey Gemini, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works, leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your storyline or your energy wave for this one, check your other major placements and see what else you can find, maybe some other useful information as well. So we're going to start with the Oracle Mystical Moments for an intuitive vibe of where we're going today. We are grateful for the message we're about to receive for Gemini. All right, any more intuitive messages for Gemini? What does Gemini need to know today? That's a book. I'm going to put that back. I'm going to take that top one. I saw it. All right, that's it. Just two. This is fine. They've been going really long this week. I've been very, I don't know, going really long. All right, we have the observer. So you're very closely watching something. This could be through social media or through some other means, but well, you're supposed to be closely watching something. You're committed to watching that thing. You're very committed to watching that thing or to closely observing something, but you're actually getting a little bit distracted. You have a little wandering eye here. So you are like functionally very committed to this thing, to what you're observing. You're very focused on it. And that's fine. And then also you're getting distracted because how can any of us hold focus quite that long, right? We can't just, so we get distracted, but the distracted thing creates sort of this dance between the focus and the distracted. And our peripheral vision is actually incredibly important. It's important to our survival. It's important to be paying attention to what's in our peripheral vision. And our focus, of course, our focus, is very much like right in front of our eyes. We have our books, our phones, our TVs and screens. Very much right here is the focus that we are having. But our peripheral vision is actually very crucial. So she's ostensibly focusing on something and observing something. But what she's actually observing is something out of the corner of her eye. So there's something. You're supposed to be focusing on something, but something out of the corner of your eye has got your attention and your mind may be more focusing on that. But the dance between the two things, the focus and the distraction, the daydreaming is super important. And then also focusing on our daily lives and focusing on getting that stuff done. That dance between the two actually creates a lot of really cool ideas and new ideas. So it's fine to be toggling between what you're supposed to be focusing on in your daydreams. It's actually a really cool creative zone there that happens when those two things interact with each other like that. So you are observing, but you're observing something that you're not supposed to be observing, or something out of the corner of your eye, or something like you're supposed to be at work staring at your screen, but something's got your attention over here. I'm going to say that's actually kind of a good thing, though. Something's grabbing your attention. So you're observing two places. You're observing right here, right in front of you, and then you're also observing something over there. And then we have protective nest. So these ideas right here, these seeds coming off of your little brainstorm that you're getting between like focusing and being distracted and daydreaming. This is like you're coming up with some really interesting ideas, and you're keeping them safe. You're not sharing them. They're not ready to share yet. This one might be more a reality-based idea, and this is more intellectual ideas, concepts, ideas that you have. They're not ready for the world yet. So you're being it's called protectiveness. So you're being very protective of these things, of these ideas, and these plans that you'd like to hatch. But they're eggs. That means that when we break the egg from the outside, we kill the item, the thing inside. But when the thing inside becomes too hungry and there's no more food inside the egg, they have to crack out. This is no longer the environment where they can thrive is in here. So then they crack out of the egg, and it looks like the whole world is cracking open, and it it's mind-blowing, I'm sure, to these little beings coming out of these little eggs here. But the thing about that is that the timing is up to the idea. The idea is you're not in charge of the timing of this. You're protecting them until the ideas are ready and the plan is ready. So you're very protective of these thoughts and these ideas. But you also have to wait. So you're just patient. This is a very patient card. You're patiently waiting for these ideas to come, for their time to come, for them to be fully developed, for them to emerge on their own. You're not going to be cracking open those eggs. Your job right now is just to protect those ideas and protect this thought. I like how in both of these, your mind, there's a lot on your mind. And here's like the protectiveness, the most obvious thing. So here's what you're supposed to be focusing on. And then here's this other little side deal. And then you're also looking out at the side. So there's something that's your main focus right now. But both of those cards are extremely patient. I mean, you're out in this field here and you're observing, they're very passive and very patient. You're protective, but you're not brandishing anything. You're not jumping around. Obviously this would create harm. You're very still in both of these. You're very protective in both of these. And you're in a passive stance. You're just here sort of observing, protecting, holding, gathering information, allowing things to develop. So that's your week. There's going to be a sort of a passive protectiveness, your job is just to stay still while these other things develop, and to have patience. This out in the wilderness, doing wildlife viewing and photography takes huge amounts of patience. You have to sit there for a long time before your subjects come to you. So there's just a lot of passivity, a lot of patience, some vigilance, perhaps, some protective watching over. There's a lot of protective watching over going on here. And it has to do with ideas and something, and your attention is split between two things. But it's the same type of attention, sort of this still, passive, watching attention, but split. All right, Moonology. Do we have something? Moonology. What do we have for our Geminis? Oh boy. Would I know if Moonology had nothing for Geminis? This question comes up from time to time. Okay, new moon in Capricorn. Your hard work is paying off. So Capricorn, all about planning, all about organizing things, very hard working, endlessly working sign here. So your hard work is paying off. I'm going to say it's going to be paying off. So yes, hard work is paying off. Let's see if we can get another one from Moonology, because we'll just see. We'll just test the waters here for a minute. Moonology, did you have anything else for us? If I sweet talk it, it'll give me something else. Nope, that's it. All right, moving on to our Ethereal Visions deck. So this is interesting because I recently did my an in-person reading. I haven't done one for a long time, obviously, and they shuffle the cards and they break the deck, and then I read their break and their energy off of that deck, right? But I totally forgot about that, and I was like, oh my gosh, this person's touching my cards, ew. But then I realized that that's what this nervous shuffle is that I do with this pre-shuffled deck, is just trying to approximate, like, when might Gemini have cut the deck? Is this it? No, this is it. All right, so this is your past, your present, your inner landscape. What's at issue? Your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. It's always funny. The same cards show up. Oh my gosh. You have the Star card, the Sun card, and the Chariot card, and all have shown up already. this week. Okay, so in your recent past, you have the 10 of Wands. So you have a burden. You put this burden down, though. So this is a burden that wasn't really yours to carry. You were carrying it. You wandered around the wilderness carrying other people's sticks to town. Everyone was like, oh, you're carrying the sticks to town? Would you mind carrying? I have a stick. Could you carry that to town too? And you were like, okay. And with each stick, it was like, okay. All right, I guess I'll carry that one too. So these were burdens. It's the 10, so you put them down. You're done. There's no more of these burdens. They weren't yours to carry. Maybe one of the sticks was, excuse me. Maybe one of the sticks was yours to carry, but it was a lot. It was a big old backpack of burdens that you carried. But you put it down, and now you put it down and you found yourself in the star card, in the flow, sort of wish fulfillment, things coming true, very much in the flow of the universe and right where you're supposed to be. This is sort of the cheerleader card of you're doing the right thing, you're right where you need to be, you've got it, you've got the right path, you're in the flow of the universe here. So we've got the wish fulfillment flow cards. Things are really moving and flowing really nicely right now. In your inner landscape, your hopes, fears, and what might be going on within, we have the Knight of Wands. So this is a very inspired, exciting energy. He's coming in with a wand. There could be some sexual elements to this. It's very exciting, inspired, creative. So you might be looking for a bit of a creative boost, some inspiration. You might be hoping for that, or you might be experiencing that inside, and it's not yet, showing up other places, but you might be feeling very inspired or wishing you would feel very inspired and very excited by some new idea, sort of a resurrection vibe here of, you had this burden. So these were dead sticks that you were carrying around in the past. And now we're looking for this lively, blooming stick. Just one this time, please. Thank you. And we're looking for this blooming, exciting, growing inspiration, not this whole burden of dead things. But that's what we're hoping for. We may be experiencing that or really looking for that. What's at issue is the Empress. So you're feeling a lack of self-confidence, or there's a lack of self-confidence going on here, or a lack of not feeling like you have everything you need, not feeling happy. Maybe if you're single, you're not quite happy about that. There's so in the upright, we have an earth goddess energy, a nurturing energy, having everything you need, pouring from a full cup energy, feeling very secure, very confident. So when we take it in the reverse, what are we experiencing? We're experiencing some insecurity, and it could be real insecurity as far as like food insecurity or financial insecurity. It could be emotional insecurity as far as feeling like we're not good enough, feeling like we don't have power in a situation, not getting the nurturing that we need. And that's really hard. I think especially as adults, we need more nurturing. And we're giving so much out typically that it's really hard to get that. Before I got laid off for coronavirus, I had a job where I got to nurture middle-aged women and help them find things that felt good to them. And I really enjoyed that because I know how difficult it is as adults to find a place of nurture. So you may be experiencing or feeling like you lack nurture. One of my favorite songs is Sinead O'Connor's This Is to Mother You. And I really feel like that song talks about wanting to nurture people, but it also is very nurturing. So if you're looking for that, you might want to explore that song a little bit. She does a really beautiful duet, and I forget who with, but it's really beautiful. She actually does a couple duets with a couple different people. It's cool. So anyway, but you're experiencing a lack of nurturing, a lack of self-confidence. You're feeling the lack of something right now, and it's causing an issue. And maybe that's why, maybe you're feeling a lack of inspiration. And that's why you're hoping for some inspiration, some quick forward movement, some liveliness, something lively. Well, you know, because we're just sitting here waiting, and we're just waiting for these things to hatch. So you're probably hoping for a good new idea to hatch. It looks like you might have one out of the corner of your eye, though. In your environment, we have a lot of fast moving energy. The Chariot, just these things are working together finally, and things are really moving. There's a magic wand here, so it's very quick, almost magical feeling. Just something in your environment is moving very fast, which is really funny to me because we're coming from this energy of patience, wait, hold, but everything around you seems like it's just moving so quickly. So yeah, the Chariot, very quick movement, maybe some travels, some journeys, things happening very quickly. Maybe once these eggs hatch, they hatch like that, you know? But yeah, you could be traveling, you could be communicating a lot, just a lot of quick movement all around you. Your to-do list is the sunshine. Your job is to come in with a lot of truth, a lot of clarity, a lot of honesty, and a lot of happiness, bringing your happiness into the situation, exposing truths I mean, it's a very happy card, but it's also about that bright light shining onto us and into our lives to bring us the clarity that we love. I mean, clarity is so awesome that it feels like sunshine on the skin, you know? It just feels so good to have a sense of clarity, being able to see clearly. So this is your to-do list, is to really embrace clarity, embrace truth, embrace openness, and embrace the light. And maybe it's these things actually hatching and these ideas coming forward. I mean, you want that. You want these ideas to come out and hatch. And there's a fast moving energy, and maybe that's what you're doing, is you're midwifing some ideas into existence, into the sunshine. So your to-do list is to embody that sun energy, that bright, clear energy, and to bring that into this situation. Your possible outcome here is the Queen of Swords. This could be someone coming into your life, or this could be you. Just be very focused on what's your truth, what you understand, what you want to say, what you want to bring to the situation. Just being very focused on how you see the situation. We don't need to always be the balanced one, seeing all the sides. Sometimes it's really just enough to see our situation and to understand everyone else has theirs and is seeing theirs. But this is a possible outcome, is this Queen of Swords. Occasionally she can be a little bitchy, but that's just because she's really clear on what she wants and what she needs, and she doesn't really want to mince a bunch of words and cushion everything for everybody here. She just wants to say her piece and be very focused on what's true, what's the truth. So if you're embracing the sun energy, I think you're really going to be able to bring some truth and honesty into whatever situations that you're going to have a really good grasp on your truth and what you see, what you're observing, what you see, and your ideas. So, because you've got some ideas here, and they're not quite ready to hatch, you're protecting them, but when they do hatch, you're going to embrace that clarity and that honesty with these ideas, and you're going to really, I mean, this being in your to-do list card is basically this. Your to-do list is to be focused on your clarity, your truth, your honesty, and that's what this is. So that's both the to-do list and your possible outcome here, is that you're just going to have a lot of clarity on what you want. And maybe that's the final bit of development that these eggs need, is to just get really clear on your perspective, the way you're seeing things, the way you're observing things, your perspective on things. You get to have a lot of clarity with that. And it's not necessarily, the focus right now isn't necessarily on you having the most balanced view and taking everybody's ideas into account. The focus is going to be very much on you understanding your ideas. These are your ideas up here. And you need to understand those. Your perspective, your ideas, your truth, your clarity. So yes, so the stars are just like distant suns. So you know, maybe we're bringing this star closer and for more clarity and to see it more. You know, we have the star card here, but maybe as we bring that closer and closer and get closer to that truth, that brightness, it becomes our truth, and we're able to express it very clearly in the near future. All right. Okay, Gemini, so I hope that that was helpful for you. Your hard work is going to pay off. You're going to get this this clarity, and you're going to be able to communicate very clearly. So anyway, thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments, because they're encouraging to me, and they also help raise the visibility of the channel so that other people can find these messages too, and hopefully find them helpful as well. So I hope you have a wonderful week, Gemini. Thank you.